What's going on, everybody? Dancing Lobster back again today, and today we're going to be looking at this silencer. And this silencer says that he doesn't play, or he says he plays support very rarely, so he wants to learn, basically wants some tips on how to actually support. It's kind of the vibe I'm getting. He says it's in the 2K range, and just looking at this, his starting items kind of tells me that we got a lot of work to do and talk about with how to support. So I'm going to try and keep this video short. It's going to be less about the game itself, and we're going to have a large discussion about supporting, and then just kind of use this game as an example to build off of. So, first off, Silencer isn't that great of support, especially not solo support. He has a slow, and he's got silence, but he's kind of an iffy spot. He's very greedy, I should say. So, I'm going to start off talk about your starting build here. This is terrible. Your build, I'm assuming that you saw in the suggested items a null talisman, and so you just kind of bought whatever components you could, and this is not what you want to be doing as a support. If you're ever going to buy stat items at the start of a game as a support, it's only if you have extra gold, and even then it's pretty iffy. You want to get sustain, so that way you can stay in lane and help your carry and gank. Not gank usually as a silencer. So normally you definitely want to start with tangos. And you would probably, so he ended up buying, because he's the solo support, he ended up buying the courier and 2 wards. So I mean, that's fine, solo support, it happens. But then you definitely should have gotten tangos, and I would have liked to see probably 2 claries and maybe some ironwood branches. And that kind of would have been a more ideal build. And so one thing also, you didn't give, so you bought your 2 wards, which you're supposed to do, but you're kind of running into the situation where you didn't quite use them right. So you place this ward's fine. It's a rune ward. Unless you're mid know when there's a ward, sorry, jumbling my words, a rune there. But then you usually want to give your other ward off to one of your heroes going to the off lane. So that way they can place it either defensively for them, or they're going to place it at the rune spot. And so now you're kind of taking mid as your Weaver getting the rune out of bottom. So now it looks like you're just kind of running around the map. And one thing I noticed looking at the Dota buff before going into this game,
Dire's top tower is under attack,
is that I don't think you end up buying boots, which is a big mistake. So alright, so this ward's not terrible. It'll kind of help you keep track of the Legion. Right there, you just expose that you have a ward somewhere. So that's not something this is not really support. You basically had no chance of getting that kill, essentially. And by using a spell from the low ground up, you kind of expose that you had a ward there. So this is good. You're invading the jungle. You're abusing the fact that he's a really weak. That jungling is very susceptible to ganks early game, and you also kind of this like dual core thing going on in the offlane that they can definitely split the wealth in this place. So you've used a lot of mana at this point. You're kind of running out. Yeah, this game's really wonky. Like a 4-core thing going on. And they have an offlane AM, so I kind of don't believe that this game's in 2K, but I could be wrong. It's not mean, but it seems like it's a little bit lower. Maybe he's like just under 2K. So you kind of round it up. Right now you're doing a lot. So you got the kill. Very good. Yeah, that's fine.
Character assassin.
At this point, you got to go back to base. It looks like you just had a solo TP brought out to you. As a support, in the first 5 minutes, you should almost, or I'm not going to say almost never, but you using the courier needs to be efficient, and you need to be getting the value out of it. And usually, the only way that's a value is if you have smoke, dust, sentries, or wards coming on it. And usually you want a combination of those. You don't want just those alone. Because when you're taking the courier away from your cores, they're not getting the items they need to stay in the lanes and get these levels and get the farm that you need to secure them early game. You can wait, usually. With these items, and especially since you haven't upgraded the courier yet, you have 600 gold. You should have definitely upgraded at there you go. Alright, so you did it now. You definitely could have done it the earlier minute, so that's something you want to be on the lookout for. You bought 2 more wards. Right now, you should buy boots. You have a TP, and now you don't have boots. And Silencer's a really slow hero at 295 move speed, and I'm gonna predict that you're gonna spend a lot of time walking around the map without an objective, which in of itself is pretty bad. So you're helping against. You're get unlucky to get these kills. They're playing this wrong, but you're doing the right things. You're punishing it, and you're getting your spells off. What I was saying is, I'm gonna guess that you're gonna spend a lot of time walking around the map, and that in of itself, when you don't have an objective, can be pretty bad. I mean, if you're a support and you're just kind of roaming lane to lane looking for kills, that can be alright. But the fact that you don't have boots means it's gonna be very inefficient, and you're gonna be moving really slow around the map, and just like not being valuable with your time, which you could be doing right now. So you had that other ward. I don't know where you had 2 wards at one point. Oh, you still do. Alright, so we're gonna see where you place these.
Invisibility.
At this point, if I saw an invis rune, I would try and gank mid with it. Get a full health and full mana weaver, but also getting kills bot would be fine. Although these two are hard heroes to you can just rage this off. That's one thing that you need to know about the matchup between a silencer and a life stealer. And if you were gonna be playing the more in the lane support type role, it can be worth it to get a value point in Glaives of Wisdom, because because when you're near a creep wave and you try and harass the enemy heroes, the creeps will aggro on you and hit you. But if you attack with Glaives of Wisdom, it's just way out of position. You should be using your spell right now. Oh, you wasted it on a creep. So that's clearly a mistake right there.
I go to glory.
If you're in the wave as like a support
fortified.
and you really need to help in the lane, if you could be standing next to the enemy creep wave, and if you use Glaives of Wisdom to attack the enemy, it won't draw the aggro, because technically it's like a spell sort of thing, sort of interaction, so it won't, the enemy creeps won't attack you, and it's a really strong zoning tool.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Alone with you, to be rewoven. You're still walking around. Looks like you replaced this ward. It's a pretty standard ward, but I don't think it'll get punished this game, but as you kind of get up in the ranks, as people start to deward more, you'll notice that if you keep playing placing a ward in the same spot, they're going to start dewarding. And I don't think this ward's terrible, because it's early in the game, and obviously they didn't ward it before. So I think it's fine. And see, now you're walking back to base, you have 1,300 gold, and like you're being really inefficient. You don't have boots. And so you want to start like shifting up your ward spot. Even if you want vision in this area, and especially since you were here, you can place a ward up here, like this one a lot, because you can see on the high ground as opposed to
Radiant's middle
the vision
tower
getting
is
cut off
under
here, and you can
attack.
still see this area, and it's on the enemy side, so it's like a little bit more aggressive and a little bit better. Also, if like you just want to get this defensive area around here, placing a ward on this ledge right here is also really good.
Tower is under attack.
So we're gonna see what you do. You have 2 Alright, so you did buy boots. I don't know. I guess at some point you accidentally saw them or something. But you definitely could have had them earlier. It'd been more efficient. I think the skill build's fine. I definitely think it's a support Arcane Curse video. It's really good. You got on all 3 heroes. So obviously you want to maximize. So keep using it on him, and actually didn't see. I don't think he does the damage. Let's see. I'm gonna watch the life stealer. I don't think the Arcane Curse does damage, because as he rages, it kind of curses it off, and the damage is magical. We're gonna watch this here. Okay, so maybe it does. It does do the damage, but it doesn't silence him. And I think that silence would be a lot more useful in like PA, because if she daggers, she's gonna be silenced and she won't be able to use her quick strike. So you're good. You're just kind of letting your cores tank most of it. Slowing him now.
Honor to be chosen for death.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Team's diving a little way too deep. Tank. Way too deep. Anyways, so you did good. I like this ward again. One of those things though, they definitely should have known that you warded there, and because of this creep wave, I think they saw you place it, but it might not get punished. I don't think they have any supports that are actually going to be buying this, which is lucky for you. So in this game, like, I understand it's frustrating to be a solo support, but you have to understand that the amount of
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
the amount of vision that you're on your team is a huge advantage that the other team just won't have the entirety of this game. This vision's actually.
Dire's bottom
Got a
tower
null
is
talisman.
under
I think it's
attack.
alright to go on a support talent to just get it. I don't know, it's decent stats.
Dire's
But-
middle tower is under
So
attack.
you aggressively TP'd, and they have a lot of ways to catch up to you. Except with that terrible build. Never mind. And you want to make sure that you're getting these last hits that are uncontested. You definitely could have had that one. You just attacked a little earlier. Got you on wins. I don't understand why. I'm not going to go into it. We're going to talk about this recording. So you're doing good. You're still going with your team. You're applying pressure to them. This game does end up going like around the 50-minute mark. So I'm gonna guess it's a lot of farming, just because the kill count was actually pretty low by the end of the game. So I'm gonna jump ahead and see what you're doing. We're gonna see what your map vision is. We're gonna jump ahead to about 3 minutes ahead. Alright, see what's up.
Dire's structures
You
are
have
fortified.
ward in the courier. Or, sorry, in the
Dire's
shop.
bottom tower
I don't
is
think
under
anyone else
attack.
is buying wards. We're gonna look at this global silence usage. I think this was your first one in the game.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
So you're kind of going in. You want to stop the duel? Yeah, alright. So you thought he was going in for the duel. That was perfectly fine to stop. I understand the logic behind that. That was fine. Your team's just kind of. Oh dear. So at this point, you have a lot of unspent gold. You'll be buying sentries with this. You can buy Tome of Knowledge since you have so much gold. I don't. If they have a Shadow Blade coming out, I don't think they do. In a normal game where they actually had supports and stuff, I would guess that, or I would guess you should definitely be buying sentries and stuff. So you went for the staff of wizardry. I'm not sure what you build first. I see that you end up building Yules and Rado Atos, and those are kind of greedy first items. Those are kind of greedy at first items for
Dire's
support.
middle tower is under
You generally
attack.
want to have, and they're kind of hard to build up to, or not Yules. Yules is actually kind of fine. Rada Atos can be hard just because it's like 3 expensive items for support. And normally, like support items you build like drums and urn. They have all these cheap components that you can buy up, so that way, like theoretically, if the game starts going bad and like you're not getting good farm, that you'll have some stats and whatnot. And they're cheap. You'll be getting them slowly as opposed to
Radiant's top
maybe
tower
keep trying to
is
save up
under
for that
attack.
one item and keep losing it. So you're placing a ward here again. You're placing them in really standard ward spots, kind of just like all the places that are marked. Like you saw, like this one's and all that. And there's definitely a lot of value in
Dire's
switching it up
bottom
in,
tower has
because these
been
wards,
denied.
first off, they're the first to get dewarded generally, and
Radiant's top tower is under
the
attack.
vision they apply is kind
Dire's
of
bottom tower is under
like I
attack.
know they're like
Dire's
specific
structures
ward
are
spots, but
fortified.
there's definitely a lot of value in getting deeper wards, like placing a ward. Like I know this is a ward spot, that's a good one, but also if you place a ward in here, you can get good vision. It's less likely you get dewarded. You like place it right around here. I'm a big fan of the ward up here. You either place it like right on the stairs, you can kind of see it out here, because this is a highly trafficked area by the enemy. They're going to be coming from the jungle to mid. Maybe they're walking from mid to there. Maybe they're just walking mid across here. You can see them walking through. Like this is a great area to ward when you're on Radiant. Kind of in the same vein, placing one here. If you're on the tower, you can kind of see the Radiant movements really easily. So we're going to see what's going on in the mid here. Yeah, definitely think about warding what you want to do. This game is not too bad. For thoughts about boots upgrades this game, against a team like this, or actually because you're the only support, I see a lot of value in getting arcane boots. But generally on Silencer, you want to go either like treads or tranquils. as a support. There's value. You're kind of getting away with. It's not even the worst thing in the world to leave him as brown boots, but just because your team has no way to sustain in the field with mana. Or I guess they're all kind of going mana regen, but if he kills it. This is not that high level. This build, I'm fine with your skill build. You're probably following some guide. I think it's fine. It's a little fun. So we're gonna see what you build. Because they don't have any supports, you're really gonna get away with this greed. I'm kind of curious to see what you build. Looks like you died. Sword's fine. So you go 4 stuff, that's really good. Oh, so I guess I forgot about the 4 stuff. I was gonna say, 4 stuff's really good this game. PA has a slow, if anti-mage ever blinks on someone, you force him away, and then, you know, he kind of wasted his initiation type thing. If Lifestealer ever open wounds, I want to see you force staffing them away.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Wounds is a crazy spell, it's like 100%, 70% slow.
Dire's
Really strong.
Are fortified.
And then also, if like Legion's running in about to get that duel, you can staff people away. So we're gonna see how you use it. A lot of people don't fully utilize like the items for how they're used.
Dire's top tower
Obviously,
is
like
under
4
attack.
staff, it's like, oh, I'll just use it on myself, and it's just for me. But to really like step up your level of play as a support and be able to
Dire's
really
top
save
tower
all your
has fallen.
cores is you want to be 4 staffing your teammates away, and then also not something that has that many applications, but as your level of play increases, there's a lot of times you can offensively force staff the enemy too. So that's not that rarely happens, but just something to look into when versus equal force staff. So we're gonna fight right here. You just use your global silence. I think it was really good to stop their initiation. You're hitting. I would turn off your Glaives of Wisdom. You're not kind of wasting your mana when you do that. You want to have it for your TP and stuff when you were that low of mana. You're not doing that much damage. Like with your right clicks, you're kind of relying, or your right clicks alone are doing enough damage for people, but you don't really need the Glaives of Wisdom when you had that low of mana.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
You still have 2 wards that you bought, and you're not placed now. There's 2 Tomes of Knowledge. This could be to level 10, but you're really close to level 11 too.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Build. Athos comes out.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
So you went top. You probably couldn't have joined that fight. It's probably
Dire's
fine.
bottom
You gotta be
tower
careful in this
is under
situation.
attack.
Any mage is quite a few levels, or 2 levels ahead of you. When it's a big wave like this, definitely use your Arcane Curse to help farm it.
Dire's courier
not-
has been killed.
Perfect.
Double kill.
So your team. Alright. Fine without you. I feel like the Sam's gonna try and jump you, but you don't know he's here. So I want to see what you sell. At this point, the least valuable item in your inventory is your Null Talisman. Doing for mana boots. So that's like I said, I think it's good this game. I'm really curious though, because I do think you end up selling him, and I wonder why you have this.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Oh, okay, so he was going Shadow Amulet. So that's good. You saw that he was building into a new item that you can easily counter, and you apply you respond to it. The only thing I would say is that I know that the lower level Shadow Blade is pretty much a purely escape tool, but if you ever start seeing the opponent
Dire's
really
middle tower is under
initiating with
attack.
it, you're gonna want to buy sentries because you want to be proactive about them being jumped. You don't want it to be I'm reacting to them escaping. It can be for them them escaping. Instead be they're trying to sneakily engage on us.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I'm actually gonna end up getting the jump on them. Sentry. My kind of philosophy. So we're gonna jump ahead a little bit more. I'm gonna try and keep this video short just because I really want to focus on these
Dyer's
support things that
bottom
we're talking
tower
about. So
is under attack.
you have 2,000 gold. You're still buying the wards off cooldown, which is really good. You got 3 coming out at this point with these wards. You got 2 jungle wards that are actually pretty healthy. I'd like to see one more on this side of the map. Placing either a ward here or even here are also good, because then you can see you want to walk under the high ground when you're in between these attacks. Placing a ward here and here is really good. It's also, this is a highly trafficked area by the enemy, and also you can see if their courier comes to the secret shop. This ward can fulfill the same purpose, and also the Dire ward, or the Roche ward, so your team can secure Roche, are really good wards. And also, I really like placing even a ward over here. It's not likely to get dewarded. Like this one will get dewarded, and this one will get dewarded pretty often. And even these, if like depending on how skilled your enemies are, but this one rarely gets just dewarded. And you can see like this whole area that the enemy's gonna be walking through. So I think you're gonna, let's see what you go for. Nothing yet. You have 3,000 gold and you're not spending it. It's like a lot of place to go. So I'm gonna talk about this real quick. So you're walking in. So you see this fight breaking out. PA jumps you. Instead of force staffing away from your team, you want to force staff towards your team in this situation. Because now the PA is all the way away from them and she can kind of just run away. She might die anyways, but you might have been able to live if you'd force staff towards your team. When you're force staffing, the things you want to look for is either I'm going to force staff kind of like either up an hill so they lose vision, like work cliff so they can't traverse it, or you want to like force staff alone, although defensive. Really maximize when you're force staffing into a defensive position. So I'm kind of surprised how you end up getting all this farm and this game's almost over.
Wait, no, I couldn't.
You go for the Athos. At this point, when you guys have a Rax and you're holding on to 2 wards, definitely put one on here so you guys can disengage, which looks like you're gonna do. It's fine. And then also some good wards when you're breaching high ground. So you can place one up here, but they'll definitely see you do it, so you either want to be smoked or something. Or in the middle of a fight when that happens, you can, from the low ground, sneak one up there. But that one's usually like to get dewarded. But if you see, this is kind of a new ward. They changed the tower true sight radius. The tower's true sight radius actually coincides with its attack range. So you can place an observer right in this little nook right here. It gives really good vision when breaching high.
Dyer's bottom tower is under attack. Dyer's bottom tower.
Depending on how you do it, they might not suspect that you place a ward. And after you get the tower, it's not the worst thing.
Dyer's structures are
So it looks like you sell your boots, I think, in the end to get a Yules or something. I don't know why you sell your boots, really. You're going Yules now. I think Yules is a really good item on Silencer. It gives him some move speed, the mana regen. It gives him a good way to cancel TPs. I don't think you've used your... The thoughts there. This is also good. So you're dead. I guess you just were messing around and you sold your stuff. Yeah, you probably sold your stuff. Okay. So, I hope what I was able to tell you kind of made some sense about what you want to be doing as a support early game. Starting items were very poor. They're actually really terrible. You want to definitely have regen, mana regen, and health regen going into lane as a support, which you can buy even if you buy all the weird stuff. And also, I talked about like ad movements and how you should be more efficient with your time, getting boots earlier when you could afford to, definitely. And overall, just warding was a big thing I noticed. You're placing them in all those really obvious ward spots, and it was able to get away with it this game just because the other team had no supports, and like they had no vision or any dewarding the whole game. And I just think as you get better, you're going to start running into those problems. I think that's something that they'll be able to get ahead of the game right now. Start warding better and dewarding if the native team actually gets supports. So I hope this video was helpful. I hope I kind of talked about like the essence of being a support and really helped you kind of learn. So if anyone has any questions or comments about anything I said in this video, please feel free to leave a comment. I'll be happy to answer. And if you want to see more videos like this and see more replay analysis, I'm going to start doing more coaching videos. Please subscribe because it helps me know that there's interest in these and really helps me keep going. So thanks for watching.